A very good evening. You're most welcome to NILE News Bulletin for 7 p.m. My name is Masi Draru, the anchor for the news tonight, and today is the 17th of March 2025. Without wasting any time, let's first take a look at the headlines making up the big stories for tonight. Coming up in the news tonight, Oxfam changes lives with clean energy expertise. Arua City's secondary ball game halted due to hooliganism. And Prime Minister commissions Moyo Main Market. More of these details will come in the NILE live at 7 p.m. Coming up in the news tonight, Oxfam changes lives with clean energy expertise. Arua City's secondary ball game halted due to hooliganism. And Prime Minister commissions Moyo Main Market. More of these details will come in the NILE live at 7 p.m. Coming up in the news tonight, Oxfam changes lives with clean energy expertise. Arua City's secondary ball game halted due to hooliganism. And Prime Minister commissions Moyo Main Market. More of these details will come in the NILE live at 7 p.m. Welcome back from the headlines, and sorry for that delayment. We had a technical problem. And moving straight to our stories. For tonight, we are beginning it in Yumbe district, and where Oxfam with co-partners have embarked on a sustainable project that is geared to promoting clean energy adoption in Yumbe district. This was revealed by Mr. Peter Otala, the project's manager of the project dubbed Sustained in Yumbe District. Jura Joseph reports.
With efforts to promote clean energy solutions in Uganda, the refugee and the host communities in Yumbe District have been empowered with clean energy and farming technologies. Oxfam, in partnership with Tulima Solar Company, have taken lead to provide clean energy in the community. Peter Otala, the project manager representing the implementing partners, explained that
we want to see that our communities change from wood and fossil fuels for energy to clean energy solutions. As you know, a lot of our communities, not only in Bidibidi but in Uganda, almost 90% of households use fossil fuel, that is wood and charcoal. But as part of the program, we want to change that mindset and increase uptake. While
Ronald Okuti, the sales officer for Tulima Solar Company, says one of the partners, Tulima Solar Company, alludes to the impact of the project.
It is doing quite a lot. As of Tulima, we have realized that farmers used to basically rely on wet season. But these days, most of the farmers in Yumbe and other neighboring areas are now doing off-season.
With the rising demand among the farmer groups and households towards the use of clean energy, Otala is optimistic that there is going to be rising uptake on the use of the system.
So we've seen a lot of groups, farmer groups, cooperatives, actually realizing the benefit of of adopting this clean energy solution. We believe in the next few months we are going to see an increased uptake because the awareness is increasing, the demand is increasing, and we hope that at the end of the project we will see a total shift and a gradual shift from use of fossil fuels to clean energy.
The project is targeting about 5,000 households with 70% refugees and 30% host communities.
We are targeting both, but of course 70% refugees and then 30% hosts, and we have a target of 5,000 households. We believe it's quite an ambitious target for this remaining period, but as we had mentioned earlier, we are going to do as much awareness creation as possible to reach these targets. We want as many people as possible, not only the 5,000, but as many people as possible.
The 6-month pilot project implemented in Yumbe district for both refugees and the host communities is expected to cost about 1 million euros. Joseph Jura reporting.
Welcome back from that story, and looking at Arua City inter-school ball games finally gets halted at the quarter-final stage because of hooliganism from the fans. Today, 17th of March 2025, quarter-final matches had commenced at Police Ground in Arua Central Division, but tension from the fans made the organizers together with the security officers to postpone the two last games between Arua Public versing Tarantino and Arua Secondary School up against Naja Muslims Secondary School, including the remaining two games in girls football. Oracle Benson Pastore has more of the details.
We started the game today. The first game was between Mvara Senior Secondary School and Arua Town, it's a former called Arua Town College. This game went peacefully, except we, as the organizers, we only brought in the students who were in uniform, and as those ones who were trying to access the pitch, they were stopped by the security personnel. So the game actually went at the pitch here. There was no much problem. It was a peaceful game, but outside there, as people were struggling to come inside, there were some scuffle and so forth. There was tear gas, which affected, in fact, many people. The traffic was interrupted, actually. We are working as a team with the office of RCC, that is the office of the security, to ensure that there is security being put on ground so that we avoid hooliganism level. Two, and also in the PTA meetings, we should be able to emphasize this to the parents, because these students, they are coming from them. You can see, just imagine, as a parent, you are coming to watch a game, you will be forced to run. A child you have produced yourself is causing a problem, you are forced to run away. As a parent, how does this one look like? Because this is child you have produced yourself, is making you to run. So let the parent play their role. That's what we're emphasizing. We have the guidelines which we are going to send to the schools. Even we have been sent to the schools, and let the schools now implement. Like the other issue was put on the uniform for identification, so that we know who is out of the uniform, who is not a student. From there we shall be able to see, and maybe when what's come to us in the future, we shall have to play the games minus fans, but it doesn't make sense. That's what we want to appeal to the public, to understand the meaning of the game.
From the 6 games that are remaining are not going to be played here. There is already a venue that I have communicated to the executive. It will be within Arua City, but slightly far away from the business center of Arua Central Division. This is because, one, Arua Central Division, where the ball games we are going to be concluded from, is a business center. I cannot say I block a whole road with security. It will bar other people from accessing the social services. Remember, we have schools which are within the central heart of the city. We have Arua Regional Referral Hospital. We have Uganda Police here. We have the market. We have churches within the city center. And when I block roads, people's access will become minimum and limited. And this, I do not want services to be affected. We have banks which people will want to access. So on those factors, I have suspended it, but we will reconvene this evening at 5 p.m. to a special eye on issues on how we can resource the two sister forces of Uganda Police and also UPDF that I will deploy to ensure that the remaining 6 ball games, including the ones for girls, will go successfully, but at a destination which I am not putting it publicly, because until I find out the specific dates when now the remaining goals and gold balls will be played, then I will reconvene and sit and also pass a message. So my message to the public is, I have done this in a good faith because I do not want the city center to become insecure for other users of the center, because we have so many social services that people need to access. 2, I needed to count the security situations of the city, because I realized even amidst these students who came in civilian wares, there were wrong people who were already grabbing phones within the crowds that had crowded in front of Uganda Police here. People, young people, especially students, were already smashing people's cars. So to avoid all these insecurities, I had to condone by postponing.
Welcome back from that story, and moving straight to Moyo District, the Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, the Prime Minister for Uganda and also the leader of government business in Parliament of Uganda, on the Saturday 15th March 2025 commissioned a multi-billion Moyo main market amidst excitements among the market vendors. Okumu Dominic has more of the story.
The multi-billion market is constructed in the 2023-2024 financial year under the Uganda Support for Municipal Infrastructure Development Additional Funding (USMID-AF), aimed at creating opportunities and markets for the local products among the public. Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda and the leader of government business in Parliament, commissioned the over 1 billion shillings market constructed under the USMID program, as the excited market vendors cheered on.
And the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development commission the Moyo Town Council main market constructed in 2025. Constructed in 2025, you under the support to municipal infrastructure development and of course additional financing USMID and AF for gold and metal.
Anyama Williams, the chairman Local Council 5 Moyo District, lauded the government for initiating the Uganda Support for Municipal Infrastructure Development Additional Funding USMID-AF and requests the government to allow the project to continue so as to foster development.
Right Honourable Prime Minister, we also thank your office and government for the Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development Program USMID Additional Financing, which has constructed, among others, Moyo Main Market, which you commissioned today. We also request your office and government to plan and expedite the process of second phase of USMID additional financing.
Sandiga Caesar, the chairman Local Council 3 Moyo Town Council, where the main market is located, thanked the government for the support, but he however said the space in the market is still inadequate and requests the government to consider expanding the market so as to create ample space for the increasing number of market vendors.
It has already been overwhelmed by the number of people inside. With the number of growing population, with the neighborhood, with the security, with the good roads and so on, and considering our location and proximity to the border, we really request the government with the Prime Minister that they urgently consider finishing the second phase of the market so that we accommodate all our women, all our men and youth to engage in business, and then we have a productive citizenry.
Asio Gloria, a market vendor, expressed her happiness to the Prime Minister for commissioning the market, saying though the vendors still have some few challenges while in the market, she still believes the authorities will be able to do something to improve the facility.
Though we have one or two challenges, but I know the town council and the district is going to address it. And we are so happy that ministers come to launch the market the way it is. And I know tomorrow or tomorrow next, things are going to change. And we are so happy.
Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Moving to Obongi District, the resident district commissioner Obongi Mpimbaza Samuel Hasaka, while monitoring government installations within the district, couldn't hide his disappointment over what he termed as shoddy works at a Wafa Resource Center, where government has spent over 500 million Ugandan shillings on a structure full of cracks. Take a look.
The facility, which was constructed in the 2022-2023 financial year with funding from the World Bank, has since developed visible cracks running from the floor up to the ceiling, something that has created fear among the users of the facility. Pimbaza Samuel Hasaka, the resident district commissioner of Obongi, while monitoring government facilities within the district, said it's not fair to frustrate government projects through shoddy works and calls for immediate response in addressing the matter.
It is a shame that we have ended up with all these cracks from down here on the terrazzo full of cracks. When you look at the wall full of cracks, when you look at the ceiling, it is full of cracks. When you see where the ceiling and the wall are joining, they're already separating. If you go to some offices, the cracks have entered deeply inside. So meaning that this thing is going to become a hazard. And what is very unfortunate is that they decided to direct the sub-county to shift here before any commissioning is done. As per presidential directive, you're not supposed to use any facility, not until there is groundbreaking and then commissioning at the end of the day is when you can use it. So when you look at this project, it is a project worth over 500 million shillings. But you see how we have ended up with cracks, shoulder work that are obvious, and the only thing I believe that should be done is to pull down this building.
Buga Habib Kemis, the chairman Local Council 5, Obongi, while responding on the matter, said the cracks have not developed due to shoddy works, but rather due to the poor soil texture within the area, and tasked the district engineer to engage the contractor of the project to look for ways of fixing the cracks.
What I know is the resource center was 100% constructed well. But the ground, it has a defect. It is not a shoddy work, it is a problem of the ground. That level which stretches from down Faligo, it went via Liwa, it went up to Itula. That area there, it has a loose ground. It is not a shoddy work. Those corrections, what I know is the contractor is still there. The engineer needs to instruct him to make sure that some of those defects must be corrected.
For Tim Benson Humphrey, the Chief Administrative Officer of Obongi, said the district has already engaged the contractor on the matter. Good enough, the district has retained part of the money for the project, which they feel can be able to fix the cracks.
We note that this work was finished, but later on it developed some cracks, some issues that require fixing. By the time I also took over, the defect liability period had expired. However, what I need to note is that we have reminded the company to fix the damages. We have reminded the contractor, and I also want to raise that part of the retention, 50% retention funds are not yet been released to the contractor.
Atiku Alexandra, the Local Council 3 chairperson in Wafa Sub-County, said at first they were so excited to see a beautiful structure being completed, but to their dismay, the structure developed serious cracks, which they fear might collapse anytime if no immediate actions are taken to fix the problems.
Our surprise came shortly after completing the house. We discovered there were cracks. And first efforts were made to the district, to the engineering department, the contractor was engaged and something was done. If you see the cracking that passed through my office, some kind of refurbishing or mending was done. But after that, it still came. The cracks you can see as we are here, as if they are, they're intensifying. We're actually worried that one time, as we are seated, this thing might collapse on us and lives can be lost.
Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Welcome back from that story, and still moving on as part of corporate social responsibility. Mama Pearl Africa, together with the youths of Adjumani, took it on the road to run for the patients of Adjumani General Hospital, where they did some donations of non-food items and also paid a courtesy visit to Madi Orphanage. Take a look.
As part of corporate social responsibility, CSR, Mama Pearl Africa and youths of Adjumani have extended support to those who are in need, particularly the victimized people. The CSR was attached with a series of activities such as the Madi Run courtesy visit to the orphanage and the Adjumani Hospital, where non-food items were donated to the sick. During the overview, Dawa Christine, the founder Mama Pearl Africa, said the CSR is to reach to the needy.
So amemura ngwanda kabisa kurendo kwa tijoni memure amemura ngwanda kadere mamisi ale badia no aluledia asitiru pangatu ngole diru are kaya bari ndrere ongo akikoni bari.
Songa Kompo, crew who participated in the Madi Run and also a Madi artist present, asked the rest to impress the same so as to give hope to the needy.
The small thing you have for the needy is important thing. Is a one way of giving back to the community. We have been for a charity run, and is done. Right now, what is taking place is a lot of activities, health activities is going on, check-up in different variants. I appeal to all the listeners who are listening to us to come at NILE's gathering. You accompany us, we move together. And tomorrow, on Sunday,
Aju Paul Bugere, a participant, urged the organizers of Madi Run to work hand in hand with the youth so as to support the advantaged category of people, most especially persons living with disability.
Today I feel very energized, running for the sick children, more especially for the disabled children. I feel like today God has really sent me strength, because today I ran for my sister who followed me. Is a disabled, physical disability, right from 5 years up to now. So I'm really very excited of participating in this run today. We need to embrace and we need to continue with this running. I feel like we should have it like, if possible, even every month will be okay. More especially running for the poor, giving, hand giving. Right now we are in Lent, the hands giving. What you give it to God. And I really encourage my people.
Mawari Dominic, public health officer, highlighted the benefits of the run, arguing that it will help to develop the bodies of adolescents who are currently engulfed with a lot of challenges. Taban.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for this Madi charity run. I really give you kudos for sitting down to think about this. It is the first of its kind for people, young people, sitting together to organize, to look ways of supporting those who are in need, especially persons with disability, our girl child, the teenagers who have a lot of issues surrounding them, especially this particular time of period of where we are fighting teenage pregnancies and also early marriages. This
Dr. Peter, RDC Ajumani District, said people faced with a lot of challenges which needs. He also adds the civil society organizations, community-based organizations and locals to come up with such initiatives.
This charity run has two very important things that we are going to get. One, as we run, we exercise. And when we exercise, we find physical fitness. And when we get physical fitness, that means we drive out some of the diseases that would have disturbed us. So it is very, very important that as we do this exercise, we exercise ourselves and drive out diseases. The second thing is, as we run, it is a run that we want to give charity to those who are in need. Many people are suffering with different needs among us. And it is very, very...
This has been the first Mahdi charity activity taking place in Ajuman district. Items like sugar and soap were donated to the sick ones. Charit Asara and Ojima Alan reporting for West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And finally, looking at West Nile local football games, in a West Nile Regional League game between Nebi Central Soccer Club and Pakwach Young Stars FC played over the weekend at Luo Grounds, Nebi Central Soccer Club proved their strength to retain the lead in Yagak Zone. Alfred Jawok reports.
In a hotly contested West Nile regional game between Nebi Central and Pakwach Youngster played over the weekend at Luo Ground, Nebi Central proved their strength to retain the lead in Yagak Zone. After the game, Gilbert Jakoma, assistant coach Nebi Central, said they will perform better than the previous season as they have acquired prominent players. He attributed their win against Pakwach Youngster to commitment by players.
The tough game, and of course, Pakwach is always a good team that you need to really prepare well. And as we talk, we were able to know that they're a good team. We had to prepare extremely high. And today's win has a lot to do with motivation in my camp. Of course, we were motivated before, but everything we planned and wanted to do in this game, they happened exactly the way it happened. So it has given us a very good position that we're able to enjoy, and currently we are in a good position.
However, Godfrey Ukumu, CEO Pakwach Youngster, conceded a defeat and applauded Nebi Central for hosting them. Ukumu added that they will go to the drawing board to strengthen their players.
We lost 1-0 to Nebi Central, the table leaders, but of course that is game. We are going back to regroup and Pakwach Youngster.
The game, which was played at Luo Ground, Nebi, attracted many football fans who exhibited their support to their clubs. The game ended 1-0 in favor of Nebi Central FC. Alfred Jawok, Camilla Stansha, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And with that story, we have come to the end of our Nilecast News Bulletin for this evening. I want to thank you so much for always choosing West Nile TV for all our programs, in particular the Nilecast News Bulletin. My name is Mercy Draru, the anchor. And from me to you, I want to wish you a very blessed evening. You continue following West Nile TV on all our social channels, and also you can get us on our website, that is www.westniletv.co.uk. Have a good night.